What up my dudes, Loco here. TSM and FlyQuest just happened, and unfortunately TSM wasn't able to get away with the victory, and there's been a lot of criticism towards TSM overall, the players, the coach especially, and I kind of want to handle what's being said and try to give my thoughts on, hey, I think some of this is kind of bullshit, and hey, some of this is legitimate criticism. And then the two most frequent things that I've been seeing is, why doesn't TSM draft early game? It seems like they're good at early game. And also, why are TSM drafts so fucking bad? Yeah, let's handle both of those. So I'm going to do two separate videos, and each video will cover a game and handle a point. So for this video, the topic will be, why doesn't TSM draft early game if they're so good at it? And to break this down, we're going to check out game 4 of FlyQuest versus TSM. But also, I'm going to show you guys clips from other games that TSM has played in the past, and also talk about why I don't think they actually are that great of an early game execution comp team. Anyways, let's get started with game 4 of TSM versus Fly. Alrighty, let's take a look at the bans. For TSM, their bans make a lot of sense except for the Syndra, the Ornn. They probably don't want Broken Blade on Ornn, and Solo has been a really good Ornn player. For Kassadin, it's not a common ban, but FlyQuest has played it before, and because they're on res side, they can use it as a really strong counter pick. And especially knowing that TSM wanted to pick Sylas, Kassadin is one of the biggest counter picks. So that's probably why they banned it. As for FlyQuest, I think the only interesting ban there is Zoe, and that's just to make sure TSM doesn't have a safe blind pick in mid lane. Now let's talk about the draft. So TSM ends up opening with Rakan, and leading up to this point, Ignar has been going off in the first 3 games with Rakan. He's just insane on the champion. And TSM has been doing the normal counter, which is pick Nautilus into Rakan and try to ult the Rakan. And Ignar's been counteracting that by going Zhonya's and just using Zhonya's during the Nautilus ult. So yeah, TSM was kind of forced here to first pick the Rakan. It is a little bit of a takeaway, a little bit of TSM also is a decent Rakan team, so just some context for the pick. I think rest of the draft is pretty normal. TSM going for a very early game, very top lane focused draft with Renekton and following it up with Elise. The only pick I thought was really weird was the Sylas, because when you're playing this topside heavy draft, mid lane pick is actually really important. Not that you fight a lot in mid lane, but more so whoever has priority mid lane can start affecting the top side of the map, and that really turns the game. And Sylas is a champion that's pretty weak early and can be fucked with in a lot of ways. So yeah, I was just kind of surprised to see TSM first pick Sylas there. The draft order switch actually, it's Blitzcrank on 4, and FlyQuest ends up counter picking the Sylas with LeBlanc, which isn't a great counter. I thought they would go something like Orianna, which can get priority on Sylas a lot easier in the early part and really start helping with the top lane. But anyways, yeah, just wanted to explain the Sylas pick a little and why I didn't like it that much. Now let's talk about the win condition for both comps. TSM's win condition is very straightforward. Snowball top much as possible. Renekton Elise, one of the strongest top jungle duos. Sylas, not really a strong early game champion in that sense, but later on he wants to be helping the Renekton, make sure he's constantly diving topside along with the Elise. As for FlyQuest, they have a more well-rounded draft, but they also come with a really strong early game. I think one thing that they can really focus on is the mid and jungle. Pantheon with the guaranteed CC setting up for LeBlanc is something really dangerous, but they also do have to worry about the Aatrox and the Aatrox getting dope. Both teams have sort of a 1-3-1 comp, but they're probably going to end up team fighting anyways because it's North America. But yeah, that's the key thing to really focus in on for this game. Top lane, is TSM able to snowball it, or is FlyQuest going to be able to protect the Aatrox? Now, with that in mind, let's get started with the recap. One small mistake really starts messing up the situation for FlyQuest, and it actually turns into something way bigger, so let's take a closer look. So you can see that Solo went in for a trade here, and he was only able to land the first part of his Q, and he didn't get a lot of damage done on Broken Blade. And if you look at what the wave is like, Solo still has 3 minions that he really wants to last hit, and the wave is going to be pushing away, and he doesn't have any of his cooldowns available. So Broken Blade is going to be able to go in and chunk Solo out, and yeah, this is where things start to really fuck up. Broken Blade goes in, W, empowered Q, and now the wave is completely done for Solo, and he's left in a situation where he doesn't have pause, the wave is pushing away, his jungler is also recalling, he has to back and come teleport. If he doesn't fuck up that trade, he can push the wave in slowly and wait for his jungler, but yeah, now he's left in a really awkward spot. And he's also going to make an additional mistake here. So he should know 1000% that the jungler is going to be topside, and he should be very, very careful about pushing in the wave, and also very careful about warding here. It's just so atrociously bad for him to ward here. And he also makes another mistake. He's gonna try to lib. He flashes out, and Dardoch just flashes and kills him. Now, he has a shit buy. He bought Kindle Gem for his first buy. He doesn't have flash. His wave is pushing away. He's just in such a bad situation. And the worst part of it all, this was all preventable if he didn't do that dumb trade to start with. And also, in this death, just don't ward. Just wait for Centauran. You can see him coming up the map. He's gonna be here. And it's okay if you miss a few CS, but it's not okay if you do this where you die and you lose flash and you're set up to lose the game for your team. Bjergsen's level 6, he has his wave pushing, he also has teleport up while Power Evil's down his teleport, so now he can reset and set up nicely for whatever's going to happen topside. And you can see Dardoch use the plant to hop over and they're going to set up for this dive. They have a huge wave built, Solo is in level 6, Broken Blade has his Fury ready, the W into the stun, into the least damage, yep, he had no shot. A little bit of creep block there, forced Broken Blade to take additional damage he probably really didn't want to take. And now we have LeBlanc and Pantheon coming in, but Bjerg's going to be able to turn the situation really easily with the teleport. Dardoch trying to protect Broken Blade, getting the nice stun. Really well done from Broken Blade to stun him as Power of Evil's coming in, and Bjerg's going to be able to finish the kill here on Centauran. Overall, this is a 3-for-1 trade for TSM, but more importantly, Solo got dope while missing all the gold and all the minion XP, because yeah, there was a huge wave built up. So top lane that was over is staying consistently over. There's just no way for Solo to come back after that dive. So here we have TSM setting up for another dive, and you can see on the minimap that everyone's trying to get to top lane as fast as possible because this is where the game's going to be determined. Ignar getting the kill on Dardoch right there, Bjergsen coming in with the Pantheon ult, Biofrost getting in there. Ooh, this is messy. I'm sure Bjerg's just going to be able to kill Ignar with the W. There it goes. Let's see if he can get out. Parbibo trying to come in and do something. Ooh, but doesn't have the damage. A little bit more exchange here. Silas is just so disgusting whenever he's able to get multiple rotations of his W off. You end up maxing the skill and it does so much damage, and it also gives you so much life back too. But yeah, anyways, TSM doing a great job of constantly pummeling top lane and making sure that it's really hard for Solo to get back into the game. And FlyQuest kind of have their hands tied there. They can't just let Solo be, because he's just going to get dope over and over again. But it's also really awkward to constantly be going topside, because they know TSM has just so much stronger topside of the map. So yeah, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of situation. So at this point in the game, TSM has all 3 outer turrets. I'm actually pretty nervous for them. This is where they mess up the most. I think they have to be a lot more patient, but Dardoch will usually get impatient and engage a bad fight, or he'll end up getting caught out like he does here. I don't think it was very obvious that Ignar was waiting that brush, but he should still know that he's hiding somewhere on top side of the map, and they have to wait until more people are showing, especially since they're pushing out all 3 lanes. And they also catch Broken Blade recalling here. He's going to fail his dash over the wall, and there's going to be 3 members jumping on him, but he's a really fed Renekton. He's the highest member on the map now in terms of levels, level 13. Also has that early Bork. Turtle actually coming in also. They have to use so many things just to kill him. But yeah, this is where I get really, really nervous for TSM. The mid game. We have to snowball. Everyone has to be coordinated. We have to make good decisions. They just don't do it well consistently. Regardless of that mishap, they were still able to get 2 additional outer turrets. They're up 5 turrets to 0 now, and they're going to be starting up Baron. Fly doesn't have any kind of control on top side of the map. It's really hard for them to come in. They finally get that trinket down. Ignar getting up there with the speed boost. And Centauran, good try on the steal, honestly. He really has nothing to lose. If he gets it, amazing. If he dies like he did here, the game's kind of lost anyway, so you have to go for big plays. And with that Baron, TSM's going to be able to end the game. They're going to be splitting 1 and 4, mid and bottom. Able to get the inhib turret very easily. Dive solo. Bjergsen soloing out Power of Evil by himself, and rest of the team just cleaning up on the other side. Yeah, they won both sides of the split push, and also they're just so far ahead where it doesn't matter at all. Dardoch actually dying from an overeager dive. So TSM just decimated FlyQuest with an early game comp. Why don't they just do this more? pick early game comps and win forehead. So they actually did a lot of this in the early portion of spring. Lee Sin, Elise for Dardoch, Syndra for Bjergsen, Irelia, Kiana for Broken Blade, a lot of early game champions, and they had a lot of success with it. Obviously, a lot of these picks worked great for TSM and it's very on theme for the players they have. Why couldn't they just keep doing this? Well, the first problem is most teams recognize that TSM loves doing this, and they started to ban out champions like Syndra. I don't think Bjergsen got to play another Syndra game after a certain point in the season. And this is where the other problems start coming into play. TSM has an atrocious mid game. And by atrocious, I mean one of the worst in LCS. The team has no idea what to do once the laning phase is over. Just look at this play here. I have no idea why they're grouping up mid.
Finish off this turret. Map definitely dark. Where's the flank? Good ult. I like that. Slows. They might find Kave. They force the Chomp out as Core disengages, but here comes the pushback. They've found Kave. Nice setup for Broxa. Ulti's going to be big damage as Flash come over, but Jensen has knocked down Bjergsen already. 2 for 0 Team Liquid. Hitting them with their inventories, taking away the kills.
And to add to that, the mistake I talked about in the recap, Dardoch has a tendency to over-engage and just engage fights that the team has no business even looking at.
Yeah, you cannot misposition as Aphelios. We say this every game, but without any defense, he goes down immediately in the dive.
The dive just does not stop. Dardoch's going to be setting things up here with a Cataclysm, but you got to look out because TSM's not able to follow up the rest of the way. They were not ready to go all the way between two turrets like that.
So, due to their mid game being so bad, it makes it really awkward to play these early game execution comps. One of the hardest parts about these comps is the pivot from being ahead early game to snowballing that to victory, and TSM's weak mid game makes it a coin flip every single time. And to make matters worse, most teams in NA like to play a slow scaling style, so every mistake TSM makes is even more costly, and they can find themselves outscaled and unable to close out games after 1 or 2 mistakes. And now, combine this with the fact that jungle is probably the single most important role if you want to play these kind of comps. They're the ones dictating where on the map you want to fight. They also have to be the ones engaging in the current meta. And Dardoch just hasn't been that great of a player. And you add the whole personal dynamic to that, it must be such a huge point of friction on the team. So let's summarize everything up. TSM can win with these early game comps, but it's going to be a coin flip every single time. They did try to put work into fixing it, but the inconsistency issue never went away, and the mid game has been a thorn on their side for the entirety of the split. So I think at a certain point they arrived at the conclusion, this isn't a reliable way to play the game and build our team, so let's just play late game comps like everyone else is doing. It is disappointing to see a team move away from what made them strong, but I can also understand not wanting to opt into a situation where these mid-game mistakes mean they automatically lose the game. But anyways, that's my theory. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll do a second video on this series very soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. It really helps me a lot. It's you telling the YouTube algorithm that you love my content and that YouTube should help it and push it along so it blows up. And also, one last thing, I'm not crazy, I'm just loco. Bye.
Yeah, let's go. I ain't the first with the curse, with the thirst that I wanna be better, not worse, man, it hurts. I'm on this earth with my words and I put them all together, insert, cause I wanna have worth. Working hella hard till they put me in the dirt. Gonna go far, man, listen to my words.